Okay, this unit, Unit 4, is on expressions and on solving equations. Oh boy, what did I do? Just a second here. Okay, don't mind that. So, an expression is a mathematical phrase that can contain variables, which are letters, numbers, and operations. And that would be like your plus and minus. So use the expression below to label the various parts. So the plus sign is your operation. So I'm just going to draw an arrow to that. The 12 is your number, obviously, but there's a special word that we need to know for that. And so you need to write this down. That is called the constant. And if you think about it, it's always going to be 12. You know, it's not doing anything else. Nothing's being multiplied to it or anything, so it'll always be 12, so it is constant. Okay, the x is the variable. And it doesn't always have to be x, but a lot of times you'll see x or y be used. Okay, and then another word we need to know is this -6 here is the coefficient. And coefficients always go in front of the variable. So 12 would not be a coefficient, just the one in front of the variable. And then this whole thing is a term. This whole thing is a term. So there is two terms here, separated by the plus and minus sign. Okay, so those are some vocab words that you need to know. So when we simplify an expression, terms are classified as like terms or unlike terms. And they can be simplified by combining the ones that are alike. And so like terms have the same variable or letter and the same exponent. And we really won't do a lot with exponents this year, but you might see that on like a standardized test or something. So for example, 7x and 9x are like terms because of the x. 4D and 4G are not. So you could add 7x and 9x if we needed to, if there was a plus sign. But if there was a plus sign here, you would just leave it as 4D plus 4G. So in the table, we're going to determine if they're like terms. And then you can either circle them or write them down, however you want to do it. So on this one, 8c and -8c would be like terms. -12x and 12x. And again, you can pause it if you would like to do it on your own first. On this one, there are none because they all have different letters. On this one, 11g and -7g. Okay, on this one, 0.5t, 1.5t. On this one, the 1m and the m. And those actually mean the same thing. If you're just given an m, you automatically know it's 1 because there's no other number in front of it. So those two are actually the same. You can see them both ways. Okay, we got 4b, 9b, and then b, which is a 1b. And then we have constants, 0 and -8. Those are all like terms. Okay, now we're going to look and just write whether they are like or unlike. So I'm just going to put yes if they're like terms. So this one would be a yes because they are both constants. It's kind of confusing with that exponent. but they're both plain numbers. Because if you would do 29 squared, you would do 29 times 29, and that would be a constant. Nothing, no variable. Okay, these both have b's. So yes, they are. These are both constants. Okay, these are not because you have the r and the p. These are not because of that little exponent on the k. That's different from this because this one is on the letter, so it makes it not the same as a plain k. Okay, same thing here because of the exponent. Here they are, they're all c's. And here they are, they're all constants. It does not matter that one is negative. They are all constants. So only like terms can be combined, which means like added or subtracted. So we'll start with this example here. The Robinson family ordered snacks at the state fair. They bought the following drinks, and they're labeling that D, pizza P, and ice cream cones C. So we're going to write an expression to represent their purchases. So if you notice, we have a P plus a P, or you can write 2P, plus a D and a D, plus a cone and another pizza, plus a cone, plus a pizza, plus a pizza, plus a drink. And then if we simplify that expression by combining like terms, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5P. So we write that 5P plus, and then we have 3 drinks, so 3D, plus 2 cones, because 2 C's. And then we're done. We can't put anything, we can't add those numbers up because they're all separate. So if you think of those letters as maybe representing their price, we can't add it up because, you know, the pizza is going to cost different than the drink and the cone. So this would be like 5 pieces of pizza at whatever price. Same with the drinks. So we cannot add those up because they might not be the same. Okay, so a good strategy sometimes is to circle or make a square, underline the like terms, and make sure you pull in the sign in front of it. So this one we have a 7A plus an 8A, so that's 15A, and then we just have minus 6. The next one, these two go together, so we have 20B when you add those, minus 12. Okay, the next one, and you don't have to do it in this order, but they like you to put the constants at the end. And then if you have letters, they tell you to do it alphabetical, but it's not a big deal if you don't. So we have 20C plus 10C. That's 30C. And then we have 8D. Now you have to be careful here. This is minus 5D. So sometimes if it helps to write that over here or use your calculator, you go from left to right. And you got to put that minus sign there. So we have 8 minus 5 is positive 3D. And again, you can pause these if you want to try them on your own without me doing them. Okay, number 4. And if you want to go from left to right, if you're going to put this in your calculator, really all you do is do negative 3 in your calculator plus 8 minus 5. So if I do it, I'm going to do negative 3 plus 8, I know is positive 5D minus 5D, and we got nothing. The answer is 0. They cancel out. 5D and minus 5D. You don't have a D left because if you put D, that means 1D. So it is just a 0. Okay, now we got 3E minus 7E. So we got negative 4E. And then we got negative 19 plus 10. So I'm going to subtract and take the sign of the bigger number. Hopefully you're making yourself do these without your calculator because it's good practice. And then you can check them. Okay, we got -4 minus 1, which makes it -5f. And then -9 plus 15 is a +6. Okay, and again, fractions and decimals, it's no different. You do the same process. So we have 1.5 plus 6.5, which is 8g. And then we got -10 minus 3, which is a -13. Okay, now we have a half and a 3/2 and a 2h. But if you notice, we have common denominators. So 3 plus 1 is 4. So we have 4/2, which equals 2, plus another 2. So we have 4h minus 1. Remember, always try to do the math if you can first, without the calculator. Okay, on these, I'm going to put these two together first. So I have a 9 and a point and a 10. And then I'm going to minus 5. So that gives me 5.9j minus 5. These are j's here. Okay, and make sure you do the homework for that to practice.